Are you ready to unlock the power of your mind and step into a life without limits? Do you feel there's more to your potential but aren't sure how to reach it? Imagine if you could rewire your mindset to overcome challenges, build resilience, and embrace every opportunity with confidence. Into the power of mindset, you'll uncover the keys to living a limitless life. This journey will take you through practical steps, from embracing self-discipline and visualizing your success to building a supportive inner dialogue that propels you forward. Join us as we dive into each chapter, discovering how to transform your thoughts, expand your possibilities, and live a life that knows no bounds. Are you ready to make the leap into your fullest potential? Chapter 1. The Foundation of Possibility. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast, open field. There are no boundaries in sight, no fences, no walls, just limitless space stretching as far as the eye can see. That open field is your mind, a space with infinite potential, waiting to be explored, cultivated, and shaped. For each of us, the journey into this field is both a personal and profound one. It's the journey of discovering that within us lies the ability to craft a life beyond what we might think possible. This realization is the foundation of the incredible power of mindset. At some point in our lives, we are all faced with the question of what we truly believe is possible for ourselves. We've all encountered moments when doubt crept in, whispering that we weren't capable or worthy of achieving something we deeply desired. Perhaps it was a dream you once had, an ambition that felt almost too big, too audacious, or maybe even unattainable. These doubts often feel so real, almost like invisible walls that prevent us from reaching beyond what we know. But here's the key: those walls exist only within the mind, and when we start to recognize that our beliefs are the very bricks of these walls, we begin to understand that by changing those beliefs, we can tear down these walls and step into the wide open field of possibilities. The power of possibility isn't just about being optimistic or dreaming big. It's about recognizing that our thoughts shape the reality we experience. What we believe, what we think, how we perceive the world, all of these elements form a blueprint for the life we create. And here lies the transformative truth. When we change the blueprint within our mind, we change the life that unfolds outside of it. This isn't some magical formula, it's a natural law of the mind. Just as a seed planted in fertile soil will grow, a positive, empowered thought nurtured in our mind has the potential to blossom into reality. In our early years, we absorb beliefs from those around us, our family, our culture, our friends. Often, these beliefs serve as the foundation for how we see ourselves and the world. We may take on these beliefs without question, allowing them to form the walls of that open field in our mind. Some of these beliefs might serve us well, acting as guideposts for who we are and how we interact with the world. But as we grow older, we gain the freedom to question those beliefs. Are they still serving us? Do they reflect our true potential? Or do they limit us? This chapter is about recognizing that just like updating a map, when the roads have changed, we can update our mental map to reflect the vast potential that truly exists within us. So let's start with a simple yet profound question. What do you believe is possible for you? Take a moment to think about it, to feel the question in your mind and heart. Let it echo within you. Perhaps it feels uncomfortable or even intimidating. This is completely normal. Most of us have been conditioned to think within certain boundaries, to believe that certain things are within reach, while others are simply out of the question. But imagine, just for a moment, that there were no limits. Imagine that whatever you envision in your mind is possible, that the only boundaries are those we set ourselves. As we embark on this journey together, consider your current beliefs as a starting point. Just as a builder might lay the foundation of a house with certain materials, each of us has laid a mental foundation with our beliefs. Some of these beliefs may be solid and supportive, while others may be like crumbling stones that no longer serve the structure we wish to build. This book is about identifying those stones, replacing them with stronger, more empowering beliefs, and creating a foundation that supports the limitless life we're capable of living. In every person's life, there comes a moment of realization, a moment when they see beyond their current circumstances, beyond their challenges, beyond the limitations they once believed were real. This realization is the spark that ignites transformation. It's the point when we recognize that our past doesn't define us and that our future is as boundless as our imagination. This is the foundation of possibility, understanding that our mindset can be reshaped, that our beliefs can be expanded, and that our dreams are only limited by the boundaries we place upon them. Imagine yourself at the beginning of this journey as if you were setting out on a path through an uncharted wilderness. You have a backpack of tools, your experiences, knowledge, and strengths. But the most powerful tool you carry is your mind. With every step you take, you are choosing to believe in what is possible. The journey will have its challenges, and there will be times when it feels easier to give up, to let doubt take over. But this is where the power of mindset comes in. When we choose to believe in possibility, we are choosing to move forward, to persist, to push through whatever obstacles arise. Our journey to discovering the limitless potential within ourselves is not a race, it is a gradual unfolding, like the opening of a flower petal by petal. Each chapter of this journey will reveal new insights, new ways of thinking, and new perspectives on what it means to live a life of possibility. And as we journey together, remember that the mind is the most powerful tool we have. It is our compass, our guide, and our inspiration. What if you dared to believe that you are capable of far more than you currently realize? What if the limitations you see are only shadows, not walls? The journey ahead will ask you to stretch your mind, to step beyond the familiar, and to embrace a new perspective. But know this, you are not alone on this path. Many have walked it before, many are walking it now, and countless others will walk it in the future. The only question that remains is whether you are ready to take that first step. Are you ready to lay the foundation for a life of endless possibility? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps our channel to grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2: Embracing a Growth Mindset. Imagine a young tree growing in the forest. It stretches upward, its branches reaching for the sky, yearning for sunlight. All around it are taller trees, their broad canopies casting shadows on the forest floor. Yet this young tree doesn't stop reaching. Day after day, it grows, imperceptibly but persistently. It weathers storms, endures harsh winters, and pushes through dry spells. Each day, its roots grow deeper, its trunk stronger. It is unyielding in its growth, for it knows at its core that this is its purpose: to grow, to reach, to become all that it can be. This young tree mirrors the journey of adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the unwavering belief that we have the potential to grow, adapt, and transform, no matter where we start. It is the understanding that our abilities are not set in stone. Rather, they are like that young tree, capable of stretching beyond what we currently know or can do. Embracing a growth mindset is like deciding to become a lifelong student of life itself. Every experience, every challenge, every success, and every failure becomes a teacher, a stepping stone, guiding us toward our fullest potential. For many of us, there is a moment when we are introduced to this concept of a growth mindset, a new way of seeing the world that reveals a path forward even in the most challenging times. Perhaps it's in school when we face subjects that don't come easily and someone tells us, "Keep going, you'll get there." Or perhaps it's later in life when a challenge arises that feels insurmountable and we are faced with a choice: to give up or to grow. That choice, to step forward in faith rather than retreat in fear, is the essence of a growth mindset. A growth mindset teaches us that failure is not the end, but merely a step along the way. Imagine, for a moment, that every failure, every mistake, every setback is like a single stroke of paint on a canvas. Individually, these strokes may not seem like much, but when combined, they form a masterpiece. Each experience adds to the depth and richness of our lives, creating a unique tapestry that reflects our journey. Embracing a growth mindset means recognizing the value in each of these strokes, understanding that they all contribute to the larger picture of who we are becoming. Think about a skill or talent you possess today. Perhaps you're an excellent cook, or maybe you've developed strong communication skills. Was this always the case? Or did you learn over time, through practice and repetition? Often, the things we excel at now were once areas where we struggled, areas that felt uncomfortable or challenging, but through persistence and a willingness to learn, we grew, we evolved. And this is the beauty of a growth mindset. It reminds us that wherever we are now is just the beginning. With effort and perseverance, we can continue to expand our abilities and reach new heights. The path of growth is not always easy. There are moments of doubt, days when progress feels invisible, and times when giving up seems tempting. But those are the moments when a growth mindset becomes our anchor. It keeps us grounded, reminding us that setbacks are not failures but opportunities in disguise. Each challenge becomes a chance to learn, to adapt, and to come back stronger. Just like that young tree in the forest, we must keep reaching, keep striving, knowing that every effort brings us closer to our potential. Imagine you are facing a difficult situation right now. It might be a personal goal, a project at work, or a relationship that requires patience and understanding. Picture this challenge as a hill in front of you, a hill that seems steep and difficult to climb. You have two choices. You can avoid the hill, choosing the flat, easy path, or you can choose to take on the challenge step by step, knowing that each step will make you stronger. Embracing a growth mindset is like choosing that hill, knowing that the climb will not only make you stronger, but also expand your perspective, allowing you to see farther and dream bigger. What if we viewed each of our obstacles not as roadblocks but as teachers? How would that change the way we approach life? Every experience, every encounter, every difficult moment would become a lesson, a gift, showing us where we need to grow. We would begin to see ourselves not as fixed beings, but as evolving, adaptable, and resilient. This is the heart of a growth mindset, the belief that who we are today is only a glimpse of who we can become tomorrow. When we choose to see life through the lens of a growth mindset, everything changes. Suddenly, challenges become opportunities, and mistakes are no longer sources of shame, but stepping stones. Life becomes a journey of continuous learning and exploration, a path that never truly ends because there is always something new to discover, some way to improve, some lesson to learn. We become like artists, creating a masterpiece with every choice we make, each brushstroke adding depth and richness to the canvas of our lives. As we journey through this book together, keep the image of that young tree in mind. Let it remind you that growth is not always visible, but it is always happening. Even when we feel stagnant, even when progress seems slow, we are growing, adapting, and preparing for what lies ahead. The growth mindset is our compass on this journey, guiding us through the highs and lows, reminding us to trust the process and believe in our potential. So, are you ready to embrace the idea that growth is always possible? Are you willing to see challenges as opportunities, to look at setbacks as valuable lessons, and to trust that each experience is shaping you into the person you are meant to be? This is the invitation of a growth mindset. To open your heart and mind to the possibility that you are capable of far more than you know, that your potential is limitless, and that every step you take is leading you toward becoming your fullest self. Chapter 3. Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a key in your hand. This key has been with you for as long as you can remember, but you've never thought to use it. You carry it with you everywhere, sometimes aware of its presence, but more often, you forget it's even there. Now imagine that this key can unlock any door in your life, a door that leads to every possibility, every dream, and every goal you've ever had. Yet without realizing it, you've been keeping this door locked. Why? Because of the beliefs you hold, beliefs that act like invisible chains, holding you back from reaching your potential. This chapter is about using that key, about freeing yourself from these limiting beliefs that you may not even know are there, and opening the door to a life without boundaries. Limiting beliefs are like shadows cast by doubts, fears, and past experiences. They creep into our minds over time, often quietly, shaping our perception of who we are and what we're capable of achieving. These beliefs can stem from a single critical comment, a moment of failure, or even an expectation society has placed on us. Each of these moments is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of our mind, and over time, if we nurture it with repeated thoughts and fears, it grows into a belief. Eventually, it becomes so ingrained that it feels like an undeniable truth, something that defines us. But here's the reality. These beliefs are not truths. They're stories we've told ourselves. And just as we've written these stories, we have the power to rewrite them. Think back to a time when you were told you couldn't do something. Maybe someone said you weren't talented enough, that you weren't smart enough, or that your dreams were too unrealistic. Perhaps they told you that success was only for certain people, or that your past mistakes would always define your future. These words, these moments, have a way of lodging themselves deep in our minds, replaying like a looped song that we can't escape. Over time, they become our internal dialogue, a background noise that subtly influences every choice we make, every goal we set, every dream we dare to dream. But what if we could stop this loop? What if, instead of listening to these voices of doubt, we chose to believe in our potential, to see ourselves not as limited, but as limitless? To do this, we first have to confront our limiting beliefs. We have to look them in the eye, question them, and recognize them for what they are: outdated scripts that no longer serve the person we want to become. This process can feel uncomfortable, even painful, as we realize how much of our lives we've allowed these beliefs to shape. Yet, it's in this discomfort that the most profound growth occurs. Imagine your mind as a garden. For years, you've been watering every thought that comes to mind, whether it's positive or negative. Limiting beliefs are like weeds that have taken root, slowly taking over, crowding out the flowers and trees that represent your true potential. To cultivate a thriving garden, you must identify these weeds, pull them out, and replace them with new seeds, seeds of empowerment, of self-belief, of possibility. It's a deliberate process, one that requires patience and perseverance, but with each weed you remove, you make space for the growth of new, positive beliefs that will support the life you want to create. One of the most powerful ways to overcome limiting beliefs is through self-reflection and questioning. Ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold about myself that are limiting me? Where did these beliefs come from? Are they even true? Often you'll find that these beliefs are based on assumptions rather than facts. They are echoes of someone else's words or expectations, absorbed into your mind and accepted without question. When we begin to examine these beliefs, we start to see the cracks in their foundation. We start to realize that they are not as solid as we once thought, that they are not immutable laws of our existence. They are simply thoughts that we can choose to change. Overcoming limiting beliefs is not about pretending to be something we're not. It's about recognizing our true potential, about understanding that we are capable of more than we have allowed ourselves to believe. It's about giving ourselves permission to rewrite the script, to tell a new story, one that is filled with possibility, courage, and resilience. This process is not always easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. It requires us to confront parts of ourselves that we may have kept hidden, to question the narratives we've carried for years, and to trust that we have the strength to create a new reality. As you take this journey to overcome your limiting beliefs, remember that you are not alone. Every person at some point has struggled with doubts, with fears, with the sense that they are not enough. But the difference lies in the choices we make. Do we choose to be defined by these doubts, or do we choose to rise above them? Do we allow them to dictate our lives, or do we reclaim our power and decide our own path? This chapter invites you to begin the work of identifying and dismantling the beliefs that have held you back. It encourages you to question everything you think you know about yourself and to be open to the possibility that you are capable of so much more. Each belief you let go of, each limiting thought you replace, brings you one step closer to unlocking your potential, to using that key you've carried all along. Imagine yourself standing before that door, key in hand. On the other side lies everything you've ever dreamed of, every goal you've ever had, every possibility you've ever envisioned. The only thing keeping you from opening it is the belief that you can't. But now, as you stand here, you realize that this belief is simply a choice. And today, you can choose differently. You can choose to turn the key, to open the door, and to step into a life without limits. Chapter 4. The Power of Visualization. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing in a place that feels perfect, a space that resonates deeply with you. Maybe it's a calm, serene beach at sunrise, the gentle waves rolling in with the whisper of a new day. Or perhaps it's a mountaintop, with the world stretched out below, vast and breathtaking. Now in this place, envision yourself not as you are today, but as the person you aspire to be. See yourself filled with confidence, embracing life fully, accomplishing the goals that once felt distant. This vision, this image you hold in your mind, is more powerful than you might realize. It's a glimpse into the life you can create, the future you can build. This is the power of visualization. Visualization is not just about daydreaming or indulging in fantasies. It is a deliberate practice, an exercise of the mind that taps into the creative potential within us. When we visualize, we aren't simply imagining, we are engaging in an active process of shaping our reality. Our minds are powerful tools, capable of creating pathways to the goals we set. Visualization gives us the ability to mentally experience our success before it happens, to feel the joy, the pride, and the excitement of achieving our dreams. And in doing so, it builds a bridge between where we are and where we want to be. To understand the power of visualization, consider the way athletes prepare for their events. They don't just train physically, they train their minds as well. They see themselves crossing the finish line, making the perfect jump, or scoring the winning goal. In their minds, they rehearse each movement, each moment, with precision and clarity. And by doing so, they prime themselves for success. Visualization strengthens their belief in their ability to achieve, creating a mental roadmap that guides their actions. Just as an athlete uses visualization to excel, we too can use this tool to bring our dreams closer to reality. The act of visualization works because our minds don't always differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When we visualize with detail and emotion, our brains respond as if the experience were actually happening. Our heart rate might quicken, our muscles might tense, and our emotions may shift to match the scene in our mind. This reaction is the mind's way of preparing us, of aligning our thoughts, emotions, and even our physical responses with the reality we're envisioning. Visualization, in essence, creates a rehearsal for success, priming us to take the necessary steps to make our vision come to life. Think back to a time when you wanted something deeply, whether it was a career goal, a personal achievement, or a relationship. Chances are, at some point, you envisioned what it would be like to have that thing, to experience it fully. You might have imagined yourself thriving in that new job, celebrating that personal victory, or sharing your life with that person. These moments of visualization weren't just passing thoughts, they were seeds planted in your mind, and, like any seed, they needed nurturing to grow. Each time you revisited this vision, each time you allowed yourself to feel the joy and satisfaction of achieving it, you were watering those seeds, giving them life. In our daily lives, we often get caught up in the routines and responsibilities that fill our days. We forget to take a moment to close our eyes and reconnect with our dreams, to visualize the life we want to create. But just as we make time to exercise our bodies or to learn new skills, we must make time to exercise our minds. Visualization is a skill, a muscle that strengthens with practice. The more we engage with our visions, the more vivid and powerful they become. And as they grow, they begin to shape our actions, our decisions, and our path forward. Imagine for a moment that you're standing at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. Visualization can serve as your compass, guiding you toward the path that aligns with your goals. When you allow yourself to see the life you want, when you experience it fully in your mind, you are setting a destination in your mental GPS. Your actions, decisions, and thoughts begin to align with this destination, helping you navigate the twists and turns along the way. It's as if the mind, once it has a clear picture of where it wants to go, instinctively begins finding ways to get there. As you continue to practice visualization, remember that this is not about ignoring the challenges that may arise. It's about preparing yourself mentally and emotionally to handle those challenges. Visualization empowers you to face obstacles with resilience because you've already experienced the end result in your mind. You've felt the triumph, the fulfillment, the joy, and this emotional experience fuels your determination to make it real. It transforms fear into excitement, doubt into confidence, and hesitation into action. What would happen if you spent a few minutes each day visualizing the life you desire? How would it change the way you approach your goals? Picture yourself waking up each morning with a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Imagine feeling the motivation and drive that come from knowing exactly where you're headed. Visualization isn't just a mental exercise, it's a way of life, a habit that shapes not only our future but also our present. It allows us to live each day with purpose, clarity, and an unwavering belief in our ability to make our dreams come true. In the journey of life, visualization is like a guiding star, illuminating the path even when the way forward seems unclear. It reminds us of what's possible, of the life we are capable of creating. So, take a moment, close your eyes and visualize your dreams. See them vividly, feel them deeply, and hold them close. This vision is your guiding light, your anchor, your promise to yourself. With each day, with each thought, and with each action, you are bringing that vision closer to reality. The power of visualization is within you, waiting to be unlocked, waiting to transform your life. Chapter 5. Mindfulness and mental clarity. Imagine a still lake in the early morning. The air is crisp, the world is quiet, and the surface of the water is like glass, reflecting the world around it in perfect clarity. In that moment, the lake captures the trees, the sky, the mountains, all in perfect stillness. There is no disturbance, no ripples, only calm and clarity. Now imagine that this lake is your mind, and the clarity it holds is your true self, untouched by the noise, stress, and distractions that often cloud our thoughts. This image of a tranquil lake serves as a powerful metaphor for mindfulness, a practice that brings us back to this place of stillness and clarity, where we can see ourselves and our lives as they truly are. Mindfulness is not just about meditation or sitting in silence. It's about being fully present in each moment, bringing our awareness to where we are, what we're doing, and how we're feeling. It's a practice of tuning in, of quieting the mental chatter that often distracts us from what's truly important. When we practice mindfulness, we're not escaping from life. We're engaging with it more deeply, allowing ourselves to experience each moment fully. And in this presence, in this awareness, we find a clarity that helps us navigate the complexities of life with greater ease and understanding. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of responsibilities, deadlines, and distractions. We're constantly moving from one task to the next, our minds jumping from thought to thought, rarely pausing to catch a breath. This mental clutter can leave us feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, and out of touch with ourselves. But mindfulness offers a way to step back, to create a space within ourselves where we can breathe, reflect, and reconnect. It's a gentle reminder that amidst the chaos of life, we have the power to find peace within ourselves. One of the simplest ways to begin practicing mindfulness is to focus on the breath. The breath is always with us, steady and constant, like an anchor that grounds us in the present moment. When we turn our attention to our breathing, we bring ourselves back to the here and now. We notice the rise and fall of the chest, the coolness of the air as it enters our nostrils, the warmth as it leaves. In that moment, we are no longer lost in thoughts of the past or worries about the future. We are simply here, fully present, experiencing life as it is. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment. We become aware of the stories we tell ourselves, the patterns of thinking that shape our perception of the world. Perhaps we notice a tendency to dwell on the negative, to replay moments of regret, or to worry about things that haven't happened. These thoughts, when left unchecked, can cloud our clarity, like ripples disturbing the surface of the lake. But mindfulness teaches us to watch these thoughts come and go like clouds passing across the sky. We realize that our thoughts do not define us. They are simply passing moments, like leaves floating on the surface of the water, drifting by without disturbing the calm beneath. Mindfulness also helps us cultivate a sense of gratitude for the present moment. When we are fully present, we begin to notice the small, often overlooked details of our lives, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the sound of laughter, the taste of our morning coffee. These moments, while seemingly ordinary, hold a quiet beauty that brings richness to our lives. In our mindfulness practice, we learn to appreciate these moments, to savor them, and to find joy in the simple pleasures that surround us. This gratitude fills us with a sense of contentment, reminding us that happiness is not something we must chase. It is something we can find within ourselves in the present moment. Through mindfulness, we gain a sense of clarity that extends beyond our thoughts and into our actions. When our minds are clear, we make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. We respond to situations with patience and compassion rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. This clarity gives us the ability to see things as they are, without the filter of past experiences or future anxieties. It allows us to approach life with a sense of openness and curiosity, free from the limitations of judgment and assumption. Imagine how different life would feel if you could approach each moment with this sense of clarity. Picture yourself facing a challenge, but instead of feeling stressed or overwhelmed, you take a deep breath, bringing your awareness back to the present. In this space of mindfulness, you find a calmness that allows you to think clearly, to see solutions that might have been hidden in the fog of a cluttered mind. You respond with intention rather than reaction, creating a ripple of positivity that extends into every area of your life. Practicing mindfulness is like building a muscle. It takes time, patience, and commitment. At first, it might feel challenging to quiet the mind, to sit with your thoughts without getting caught up in them. But with each practice, you strengthen your ability to return to that place of stillness, to find clarity amidst the noise. Over time, mindfulness becomes a natural part of your life, a source of peace and resilience that supports you through even the most challenging moments. In this journey of cultivating mindfulness, remember that perfection is not the goal. There will be days when the mind feels restless, when focus seems elusive, and that's okay. Mindfulness is about accepting each moment as it is, without judgment or expectation. It's about being gentle with yourself, allowing yourself the space to simply be. In this gentleness, you create a compassionate space within your mind, a refuge you can return to whenever life feels overwhelming. As you continue to practice mindfulness, let it become a daily ritual, a small act of self-care that brings clarity and peace into your life. Begin with just a few minutes each day, focusing on your breath, grounding yourself in the present moment. Over time, you'll find that this clarity extends beyond those few minutes, becoming a guiding light that helps you navigate the twists and turns of life with greater ease and grace. In the stillness of mindfulness, we discover a deeper connection to ourselves and to the world around us. We realize that clarity is not something we must seek. It is something we already have, waiting to be uncovered. Like the calm lake reflecting the world in perfect clarity, our minds have the power to reflect our true selves when we cultivate this practice of mindfulness. And in that reflection we find peace, purpose, and a profound understanding of what it means to live with intention. Chapter 6. Resilience in the face of setbacks. Imagine standing on a path that stretches far into the distance. The sky is clear, the horizon bright with promise, and you're filled with excitement, ready to take on whatever lies ahead. But as you move forward, something unexpected happens. A storm rolls in, sudden and fierce, blocking your view and making every step feel uncertain. The path that seemed so clear moments ago now feels challenging, even impossible. This storm represents the setbacks we all encounter on our journeys. Life is full of these storms, moments when things don't go as planned, when progress seems to halt, and when the road ahead feels daunting. But resilience is the force within us that keeps us moving forward, even when the skies are dark and the way forward is unclear. Resilience is the ability to bounce back, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to keep pushing forward no matter how many times we stumble. It is the strength to rise after every fall, the determination to keep going even when it feels easier to give up. Resilience isn't about never facing difficulty, it's about how we respond to those difficulties. It's about finding the courage to keep moving, to take one step after another, trusting that the storm will pass and that we will come out stronger on the other side. Life doesn't always follow a smooth, straight path. There are twists and turns, hills and valleys, and sometimes the unexpected challenges we encounter can feel overwhelming. But these challenges are not just obstacles, they are opportunities for growth. They teach us lessons, build our character, and strengthen our resilience. When we face a setback, we are given a choice: to let it hold us back or to use it as a stepping stone toward our next breakthrough. Resilience is the choice to see each challenge as a chance to grow, to learn, and to become a stronger version of ourselves. Think about a time in your life when you faced a setback. Perhaps it was a project that didn't turn out the way you hoped, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or a goal that seemed just out of reach. In those moments, it's natural to feel disappointment, frustration, or even doubt. These emotions are part of the human experience, and acknowledging them is an important step in building resilience. But resilience is about not letting those feelings define us. It's about looking beyond the immediate pain or frustration and finding the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is challenging. Resilience is like a muscle. The more we exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Each time we face a setback and choose to rise above it, we are building our resilience, making it easier to handle the next challenge that comes our way. This strength doesn't happen overnight. It's something we develop over time, through each experience, each setback, each moment of determination. And with every challenge we overcome, we add another layer of resilience, another piece of armor that protects us as we continue on our journey. Imagine for a moment that you are climbing a mountain. The peak is high, the path steep, and as you climb, there are times when it feels too difficult, too exhausting. But with each step, each struggle, you become stronger. Your muscles grow, your endurance builds, and what once seemed impossible begins to feel within reach. This is the power of resilience. It's the ability to keep climbing, to keep pushing forward, knowing that each challenge is making you stronger, each step is bringing you closer to the peak. Resilience also teaches us the importance of adaptability. Sometimes the path we've chosen may not lead where we expected, and we have to find a new way forward. This ability to adapt, to change course when needed, is a key part of resilience. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and our resilience grows when we learn to embrace these changes, to see them not as failures but as redirections, guiding us towards something even better. When we learn to be flexible, to adjust our course, we discover new possibilities, new strengths we didn't know we had. Imagine you're on a journey through a dense forest. The path is winding, full of obstacles, and sometimes it seems like you're going in circles, but with each turn, each new direction, you learn something new about yourself. You discover strengths you didn't know you had, resilience you didn't realize was within you. This journey, though difficult, is teaching you to trust in yourself, to believe in your ability to find your way, no matter how many times the path shifts. This is resilience, knowing that no matter how many times we have to change course, we have the strength within us to reach our destination. Building resilience also involves learning to see failure in a new light. In our culture, failure is often seen as something negative, something to be avoided. But failure is a natural part of any journey, a necessary step on the path to success. Each time we fail, we gain valuable insights, learning what doesn't work so that we can try something new. Failure is not the end, it's a beginning, a chance to start again with new knowledge, new insights, and a stronger sense of purpose. When we learn to view failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback, we free ourselves from the fear of trying, opening ourselves up to new possibilities. Think of the challenges you've faced, the obstacles you've overcome, the times when you wanted to give up but chose to keep going. Each of these moments is a testament to your resilience, a reminder of the strength within you. They are proof that you are capable of facing whatever life brings, that no storm is too strong, no path too steep. Resilience is not something we are born with, it's something we build, one experience at a time, one choice at a time. And with each act of resilience, we become more confident, more courageous, more capable of creating the life we desire. As we continue on this journey together, remember that resilience is the foundation upon which all growth is built. It is the strength that allows us to face adversity, the courage that keeps us moving forward, the belief that no matter what happens, we have the power to overcome. Embrace each setback, each challenge as a teacher, a guide, a friend on your path. These moments, though difficult, are shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the journey ahead. So, the next time you find yourself facing a storm, remember this: you are stronger than you know, more resilient than you realize, and capable of weathering any challenge that comes your way. Take a deep breath, feel the strength within you, and keep moving forward. The path may be difficult, but with resilience as your guide, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 7. The Art of Positive Thinking. Imagine you're standing in a garden at dawn, surrounded by vibrant flowers, lush greenery, and the scent of fresh earth. The sun is just beginning to rise, casting a warm, golden light over everything it touches. In this garden, every flower seems to reach for the light, its petals opening wide, embracing the day with hope and vibrancy. This is the power of positivity in nature, an instinctive reaching toward the light. And just as these flowers turn toward the sun, we too have the ability to choose where we focus our energy, where we direct our thoughts. This choice is the foundation of positive thinking. Positive thinking is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the good in each moment, to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Positive thinking is a way of approaching life that invites resilience, gratitude, and a sense of possibility into our daily experience. It is about creating a mindset that uplifts us, fuels our goals, and helps us see beyond obstacles to the opportunities that lie on the other side. When we practice positive thinking, we are like that garden at dawn, opening ourselves to the light, nurturing our minds with thoughts that encourage growth and possibility. Our thoughts are powerful. They shape the way we perceive the world, the way we respond to challenges, and the way we interact with others. Think of your mind as a canvas, and every thought you hold is a brushstroke. Positive thinking allows us to paint a picture of possibility, a canvas filled with hope, resilience, and strength. When we choose to focus on what is good, what is possible, and what we are grateful for, we create a mental environment that supports our well-being and fuels our potential. Consider for a moment the impact of negative thoughts. When we focus on what is wrong, on our fears, or on our limitations, it's as if we're casting shadows over our own lives. These thoughts create a feeling of heaviness, making even small tasks seem overwhelming and draining us of the energy we need to move forward. Negative thinking is like planting weeds in our mental garden. They take up space, block the light, and crowd out the positive growth we want to cultivate. But when we practice positive thinking, we clear away those shadows, making space for new, uplifting thoughts to flourish. Positive thinking is a habit, a practice that we build over time. It begins with awareness, with noticing the thoughts that arise in our minds. When we become aware of our thoughts, we can start to see patterns. Perhaps we notice a tendency to dwell on the past, to worry about things that haven't happened, or to focus on what we lack rather than what we have. This awareness is the first step in shifting our mindset. Once we see these patterns, we can make a conscious choice to change them, to replace negative thoughts with positive ones, and to direct our focus toward what uplifts and inspires us. Imagine you are facing a challenge, something that feels daunting or uncertain. In that moment, you have a choice. You can focus on the difficulties, on all the reasons why it might not work, or you can choose to focus on the possibilities, on the strengths you bring, and on the support available to you. Positive thinking doesn't make the challenge disappear, but it changes the way you approach it. It gives you the courage to move forward, the optimism to believe in your success, and the resilience to keep going even when things get tough. Positive thinking also influences the way we interact with others. When we approach life with a positive mindset, we radiate an energy that others can feel. This positivity creates a ripple effect, lifting up those around us, inspiring them to see the good in their own lives. Think of a time when you were around someone who exuded positivity, someone who seemed to find joy in the little things, who saw the silver lining in every situation. Their energy was likely contagious, making you feel lighter, more hopeful, and more open to possibility. This is the gift of positive thinking. It not only transforms our own lives, but also has the power to uplift others. Positive thinking also teaches us the importance of gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from what we lack and toward the abundance that already exists in our lives. Gratitude helps us see the beauty in the everyday, to find joy in simple moments, and to appreciate the people and experiences that enrich our lives. This shift in focus brings a sense of contentment, reminding us that happiness is not something we must chase. It is something we can find within ourselves in each moment if we choose to look for it. But positive thinking is not always easy. Life will inevitably bring challenges, disappointments, and setbacks. There will be days when positivity feels out of reach, when it feels easier to dwell on the negative than to look for the good. And that's okay. Positive thinking is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing, as often as we can, to bring our focus back to what uplifts us, to find the light even in the darkest moments, and to trust that with each positive thought we are creating a life filled with possibility. As you continue to build this habit of positive thinking, remember that it's a journey, one that requires patience and kindness toward yourself. Some days will feel easier than others, and there will be times when you find yourself slipping back into old patterns of negativity. But each time you choose to redirect your thoughts, each time you choose positivity over doubt, you are strengthening your mind, creating a foundation of resilience, optimism, and hope. Picture yourself standing in that garden once again, surrounded by flowers and trees reaching for the sun. This is your mind, your mental garden, and you have the power to choose what you cultivate within it. With each positive thought, you plant a seed of hope, of resilience, of possibility. And as you nurture these seeds, they grow, filling your mind with beauty, strength, and light. This is the art of positive thinking, choosing moment by moment to focus on the good, to believe in the possibility of each day, and to create a life that reflects the best of who you are. So, take a deep breath, feel the warmth of the sun on your face, and trust in the power of positivity. No matter what challenges may come, remember that you have the strength within you to face them, the resilience to rise above them, and the courage to keep moving forward with hope and optimism. Positive thinking is not just a mindset, it's a way of life, a path that leads you toward your highest potential, one thought at a time. Chapter 8. The Role of Self-Discipline. Picture a river winding its way through a rugged landscape. The water is persistent, flowing steadily, carving its path through rock and soil alike. Year after year, it shapes the land, changing the face of the earth, one gentle push at a time. This image, though seemingly tranquil, holds a quiet power, the power of consistency, of determination, of discipline. The river does not rush or force its way. Instead, it flows steadily, trusting in the process. Over time, it achieves what seemed impossible. Self-discipline, much like that river, is not about quick, forceful action, but rather about the steady, committed effort we make day by day, hour by hour. Self-discipline is often misunderstood. To many, it sounds restrictive, like a constant struggle against temptation or a rigid set of rules. But self-discipline is not about denying ourselves joy or forcing ourselves into uncomfortable molds. Instead, it's about aligning our actions with our deepest desires, about creating the life we envision, not through bursts of effort, but through small, meaningful steps. Self-discipline is about committing to the vision we have for ourselves, choosing each day to move in the direction of our goals, no matter how small the step. Imagine for a moment the dreams you hold closest to your heart. These dreams may feel big, even daunting, but within each of them lies a path. This path is not made of grand gestures or momentous decisions. It's built from the small, consistent actions we take every day. Self-discipline is the act of choosing those actions, of showing up, even when it's easier to stay where we are, even when the path is steep and progress feels slow. It's the inner commitment to ourselves, to the belief that we are capable of achieving something meaningful, even when no one else is watching. Think about something you've achieved in the past, a goal you reached, a skill you mastered, a challenge you overcame. Reflect for a moment on how you got there. Was it through one massive, life-changing effort, or was it through a series of small, steady steps? Often we find that our accomplishments come not from a single act of greatness, but from the daily choices we make, the quiet discipline of sticking to our goals, one action at a time. This is the essence of self-discipline. It's not a single event, but a way of being, a commitment to ourselves that endures through time. Self-discipline also teaches us resilience. There will be days when motivation wanes, when obstacles arise, when we question why we began the journey in the first place. These are the moments when self-discipline becomes our anchor. It reminds us that progress isn't always visible, that growth isn't always immediate. Self-discipline gives us the strength to continue, to trust that every effort, no matter how small, is bringing us closer to our goals. It's the quiet voice that says, "Keep going, even when the way forward isn't clear." Imagine the impact that self-discipline could have on your life. Picture yourself waking up each day, knowing that with each action, each decision, you are moving closer to the person you want to become. There's a kind of freedom in this commitment, a sense of empowerment that comes from knowing that you have the ability to create change. Self-discipline gives us control over our lives, allowing us to shape our reality rather than being shaped by circumstance. It's the difference between drifting with the current and choosing our own course, one step, one decision at a time. Some might say that self-discipline requires sacrifice, that it demands we give up comfort or pleasure. But true self-discipline is not about deprivation, it's about alignment. It's about aligning our actions with our values, our goals, and our dreams. It's about making choices that support our well-being, that nourish our growth, that bring us closer to the life we envision. In this way, self-discipline becomes a form of self-respect, a way of honoring ourselves and our potential. It's saying, I value my dreams enough to work for them, to make choices that support them, even when it's challenging. Imagine self-discipline as a friend, a steady companion who walks with you through the ups and downs of life. This friend doesn't push or pull, but gently guides, reminding you of what you're capable of the dreams you hold close. Each time you choose to act with self-discipline, you strengthen this friendship, building a relationship of trust and commitment with yourself. And as this friendship deepens, self-discipline becomes less of an effort and more of a natural expression of who you are, a quiet confidence that carries you forward, no matter the challenges you face. In practicing self-discipline, we learn to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Each step becomes a victory, each action a testament to our dedication. We begin to see progress not as a single, final achievement, but as a series of moments, each one a building block in the life we are creating. This shift in perspective brings a sense of peace, a realization that we don't need to rush, that we don't need to accomplish everything at once. We simply need to keep moving forward, trusting in the power of small, consistent effort. So, as you think about the goals and dreams you hold dear, consider the role that self-discipline could play in bringing them to life. Picture yourself, like that river, flowing steadily, shaping your life with each choice, each action. Know that you have the strength within you to keep moving, to keep growing, to keep reaching for the life you desire. And with each act of self-discipline, with each decision to honor your commitment to yourself, you are building a foundation of strength, resilience, and purpose. Self-discipline is not a destination. It's a way of being, a path we walk every day. It's the quiet strength that helps us persevere, the steady hand that guides us, the inner commitment that fuels our dreams. Embrace this path, trust in the power of each small step, and know that with self-discipline, you are capable of creating a life that reflects the best of who you are. Chapter 9. Building a supportive inner dialogue. Imagine a conversation with a friend who understands you completely. They know your strengths, your dreams, and your struggles, and they're always there with words of encouragement when you need them. This friend has a way of helping you see things in a different light, reminding you of the progress you've made, cheering you on with a gentle but unwavering belief in your potential. This friend is your inner voice, the voice inside your mind that, at its best, supports, guides, and encourages you. But this voice doesn't always speak with kindness. Sometimes it can be a critic rather than a friend, questioning your abilities, casting doubt on your decisions, and bringing up every mistake and shortcoming. This chapter is about learning to transform that voice into your biggest supporter, creating an inner dialogue that empowers you. Our inner dialogue, the steady stream of thoughts that runs through our minds each day, has a profound impact on our lives. Each thought acts like a small brushstroke, painting a picture of how we see ourselves and the world around us. When our inner dialogue is positive and supportive, it gives us the confidence to pursue our goals, to take on new challenges, and to trust in ourselves. But when this dialogue is harsh or self-critical, it can chip away at our confidence, making us doubt our abilities and hesitate to take risks. The good news is that we have the power to shape this inner dialogue, to train our minds to be our ally rather than our adversary. Building a supportive inner dialogue begins with awareness. We often don't notice the tone of our self-talk, yet it's always there, like background music, shaping our mood and mindset. Take a moment to reflect on the way you speak to yourself. When you face a challenge or make a mistake, what words come to mind? Are they encouraging, or do they lean toward criticism? This awareness is the first step in creating a positive inner dialogue. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we begin to see patterns, noticing which words lift us up and which ones hold us back. Consider how you would speak to a friend facing the same challenges you do. Would you criticize them, remind them of their past mistakes, and tell them they aren't good enough? Of course not. You would offer words of encouragement, reminding them of their strengths, their resilience, and the progress they've made. Building a supportive inner dialogue is about learning to treat ourselves with that same compassion and understanding. It's about becoming our own best friend, offering ourselves the same kindness we readily give to others. This inner dialogue becomes especially important when we're pursuing a goal or facing a challenge. In these moments, our thoughts have the power to either support or sabotage us. Imagine you're preparing for something important, a presentation, a race, a personal goal. In the days leading up to it, your mind is filled with thoughts about what could go wrong, about past failures, about everything you think you lack. This dialogue drains your energy, filling you with doubt and anxiety. But imagine if instead your inner voice was filled with encouragement, reminding you of the preparation you've done, the strengths you bring, and the progress you've made. This supportive dialogue doesn't just boost your confidence, it creates a mindset that is ready for success. Training our inner dialogue to be supportive takes time, just as any relationship does. We begin by noticing the critical thoughts, the self-doubt, the fear, and gently replacing them with words of kindness and encouragement. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is easy. It means acknowledging the difficulties while choosing to believe in our ability to handle them. It means reminding ourselves that we are learning, growing, and becoming stronger with each step. Think of your mind as a garden. Each thought is a seed, and over time, those seeds grow into beliefs. When we plant seeds of encouragement, of self-belief, of resilience, we create a garden filled with positivity, a mental space that supports our growth. But when we allow seeds of doubt, fear, and self-criticism to take root, they grow into weeds that can crowd out our confidence and resilience. Building a supportive inner dialogue is like tending to this garden, choosing each day to plant seeds that nourish our minds, that lift us up, that remind us of our potential. When we cultivate a supportive inner dialogue, we also learn to be more patient with ourselves. We begin to see that progress is not always a straight line, that growth often comes in waves with highs and lows. This understanding helps us move through setbacks with grace, recognizing that each step, each stumble, is part of the journey. Our inner voice becomes a source of comfort, reminding us that it's okay to take things one day at a time, that we don't have to have everything figured out. This supportive dialogue becomes our anchor, helping us stay grounded and focused, even in the face of uncertainty. Imagine how your life would change if you spoke to yourself with kindness each day. Picture yourself approaching challenges with a quiet confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, your inner voice is there to support you, to encourage you, to remind you of your strengths. This inner dialogue becomes a source of resilience, a wellspring of courage that you can draw from whenever you need it. It's a voice that says, "You've got this," even on the days when self-doubt creeps in. To build a supportive inner dialogue, start small. Each day, take a moment to check in with yourself, to notice the words you're saying in your mind. When you catch a self-critical thought, pause and gently replace it with something encouraging. It doesn't have to be grand or overly positive. Sometimes a simple, "I'm doing my best and that's enough," is all it takes. Over time, these small moments of kindness build upon each other, creating a supportive, compassionate inner dialogue that feels natural, like second nature. Our inner dialogue shapes the way we see ourselves and the world around us. When we choose to make this dialogue supportive, we create a foundation of strength and confidence that fuels our growth. We learn to trust ourselves, to believe in our abilities, and to approach life with an open heart and an open mind. This dialogue becomes a quiet, steady presence, a voice that reminds us of who we are and who we can become. And in this process, we discover that the most powerful support we can find is the support we offer ourselves. So take a moment now and listen to that voice within. Let it be a friend, a guide, a source of encouragement. With each positive thought, with each word of kindness, you are building a foundation of resilience, a supportive inner dialogue that will carry you forward, no matter where the journey leads. Chapter 10. Living the Limitless Life. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a cliff, looking out over an endless horizon. The world stretches before you, vast and open, inviting you to explore, to soar, to go beyond the limits you once thought were fixed. You feel a quiet sense of courage, a deep-rooted confidence that you can face whatever lies ahead. This is the feeling of living a limitless life, the feeling of stepping fully into your potential, of embracing each day with a sense of curiosity, courage, and purpose. To live a limitless life is not to live without challenges or obstacles. Rather, it's to live with a mindset that sees beyond them. It's about holding on to the belief that within each of us lies an endless reservoir of strength, creativity, and resilience. This life doesn't depend on external success or flawless achievements. It comes from the quiet assurance that whatever happens, you have the power to shape your experience, to create meaning, and to grow. Throughout this journey, you've explored the many aspects of a limitless mindset. You've uncovered the foundation of possibility within yourself, learned to embrace growth, and recognize the strength of resilience. You've practiced visualization, cultivated mindfulness, and developed a positive outlook. You've built self-discipline, nurtured a supportive inner dialogue, and found ways to overcome limiting beliefs. Each chapter has been a step on the path toward this limitless life, a life where you are not confined by fear, by doubt, or by the expectations of others. Living the limitless life means choosing each day to believe in possibility. It's about waking up with the quiet resolve that today, no matter what comes, you will meet it with courage. This mindset does not mean you won't experience setbacks or moments of doubt. Those are part of any journey. But with a limitless mindset, you approach these moments with a sense of resilience, knowing that each challenge is a chance to learn, to grow, and to deepen your understanding of yourself. Consider what it means to pursue your dreams with a limitless mindset. So often we hold back, afraid of what might go wrong, afraid of failing, or afraid of what others might think. But a limitless life invites us to see these fears as passing clouds rather than walls. They may be present, but they do not have the power to hold us back unless we allow them to. Instead of letting fear dictate our choices, we learn to move forward with courage, trusting that the journey itself is worth it. We come to understand that growth and fulfillment don't come from avoiding fear, but from facing it, from stepping into the unknown and discovering our capacity for greatness. Living without limits also means embracing the unknown with curiosity. Life is full of mysteries, of twists and turns that we can't predict. Instead of fearing the uncertainty of the future, a limitless mindset teaches us to welcome it, to see each new experience as a chance to learn, to grow, and to expand. It's a life filled with questions rather than answers, a journey of discovery rather than a destination. And in this openness we find a sense of freedom, an excitement that comes from knowing that life is a continuous adventure, that each day holds the potential for something new. Imagine yourself at the end of a long journey, looking back at the path you've traveled. You see the challenges you faced, the victories you celebrated, the moments of doubt, and the moments of triumph. In this reflection, you realize that every step, every stumble, every breakthrough was part of the process of becoming who you are. Living a limitless life is not about being perfect or avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing the journey in all its complexity. It's about seeing yourself as a work in progress, always growing, always learning, always reaching for new heights. Living the limitless life also means choosing to find meaning in each moment. It's about seeing the beauty in the simple things, a quiet morning, a moment of laughter, a shared experience. It's about valuing each moment, knowing that life is not just a series of goals to achieve, but a tapestry of experiences to savor. With a limitless mindset, you see that success is not defined by external accomplishments alone, but by the depth of your experiences, by the connections you make, and by the fulfillment you find in the everyday moments. As you step into this limitless life, know that the journey will continue. There will always be new goals to pursue, new challenges to overcome, new experiences to savor. This journey is one of constant growth, of continuous expansion, of becoming more of who you are with each passing day. Embrace this path with an open heart, trusting that every experience is a chance to discover something new about yourself, to grow and to evolve. Living a limitless life is not a final destination. It's a way of being. It's a choice you make each day to see beyond the boundaries, to believe in your potential, and to approach life with curiosity and courage. It's the understanding that you are capable of more than you can imagine, that each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your resilience, your strength, and your limitless capacity for growth. So, as you close this book, remember that the journey is just beginning. You have the tools, the mindset, and the courage to create the life you desire. Step forward with confidence, with the quiet knowing that you are more than enough, that within you lies a boundless well of possibility. Embrace each day with an open heart, a curious mind, and an unwavering belief in yourself. This is your limitless life, a life of possibility, of purpose, of endless discovery. It's yours to create, one step, one choice, one moment at a time.